Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling you in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines we're tracking right now. This government does not endorse discriminatory statements, says Home Minister Rajnath Singh in the Lok Sabha as he replies on a Shiv Sena MP's statement on voting rights for Muslims. A Pakistani boat with heroin worth 600 crore rupees intercepted off the Gujarat coast. 8 Pakistani nationals on the boat apprehended. Probes underway. Expelled Aam Aadmi Party leader Prashant Bhushan slams Arvind Kejriwal a day after he was removed from the party with Yogendra Yadav and 4 others. Says dreams shattered, AAP is now run by a carp. Captain of the boat carrying migrants that capsized in the Mediterranean Sea, charged with reckless multiple homicide. Another crew member also arrested. 800 now believed to be dead in the disaster. And Chinese President Xi Jinping addresses a joint session of parliament in Pakistan, assures his country would stand by the old ally Pakistan through thick and thin. Well, the top story this evening, the ruling BJP is facing a tough time to tackle the opposition's ire against controversial remarks by its own MPs as well as that of the allies. A day after BJP MP Giriraj Singh apologized for his racist remarks on Congress President Sonia Gandhi, Home Minister Rajnath Singh made a statement in Lok Sabha today. He denounced any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed or religion. Now, his statement came after opposition parties took on the government over the Shiv Sena's views on voting rights for minorities.
During zero hour in Lok Sabha on Tuesday, Congress raised the issue of discriminatory statements, referring to a recent article in Shiv Sena's mouthpiece Samna. The opposition demanded a reply from the government over the BJP ally Shiv Sena's views on voting rights to minorities. Congress's leader in Lok Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, also accused BJP members of making communal statements.
होम मिनिस्टर साहब यहाँ है, ऐसे बयान क्यों आ रहे हैं? तो इसीलिए आप एक खुलासा कीजिए और जो मेंबर ऐसी बातें कर रहे हैं और जो विष फैला रहे हैं और ये विष फैलाकर समाज को तोड़ने की बात कर रहे हैं और जो सरकार को भी अस्थिर बनाने की बात आपके ओर से ही आ रही है.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh gave a statement in the House clarifying the government's stand on such issues. He said the government denounces any kind of discrimination.
मैं ये सदन में स्पष्ट कर देना चाहता हूं कि यदि किसी के द्वारा भी यदि सदन में यदि कोई बात आए तो एक बार सोचा जा सकता है. सदन के बाहर भी यदि कोई स्टेटमेंट देता है यदि ऐसा जिससे कास्ट, क्रीड, रेस अथवा रिलीजन के आधार पर किसी प्रकार का कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन क्रिएट होता है तो मैं समझता हूं कि हमारी सरकार किसी भी सूरत में इसे इंडोर्स नहीं कर सकती.
किसी का भी अपमान.
Rajnath Singh's statement came a day after Union Minister Giriraj Singh apologized in Lok Sabha for his racist remarks on Congress President Sonia Gandhi after protests on the issue. On Tuesday, Giriraj Singh debunked media reports that he broke down after being reprimanded by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during a meeting in the morning.
मुलाकात भी नहीं हुई है. किसने कहा मुलाकात हुई?
He has not made any public comment, number one. Second thing he said is immediately and one channel has telecast it. The same day he has disowned the comment and expressed regrets. His only worry is nobody has taken note of that.
The government has been facing flack from the opposition over controversial remarks made by members of the BJP and its allies. Earlier, BJP MPs Sakshi Maharaj and Niranjan Jyoti had apologized in the parliament for discriminatory comments made by them. With inputs from Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The BJP's parliamentary party met on Tuesday to discuss its strategy to get the contentious land acquisition bill passed in both houses of parliament. Rubbishing the Congress's claims that the government was anti-farmer and pro-corporate, the BJP reiterated its commitment to the welfare of farmers and the poor. The Congress party is opposing the bill both inside and outside Parliament with all its might. The party had indicated on Monday that the bill will be sent to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Congress President Sonia Gandhi had also said her party would keep raising farmers' issues.
Their telling us is like devils quoting scriptures. Remember your record. Before criticizing us, please do some homework before making any criticism.
हम पूरी तरह से देश के किसानों, देश के गरीब तबकों, देश के आखिरी पायदान पे खड़े हुए व्यक्ति के विकास के लिए पूरी ईमानदारी और पूरी मजबूती के और पूरे समर्पित भाव से खड़े हुए हैं। उससे ना हम हटेंगे ना उससे हम डिगेंगे।
हमारा ये कहना है कि एक ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाइए, सबके साथ सलाह मशवरा करिए। अलग अलग से एक एक पार्टी को बुलाकर उनके नेताओं से बातचीत करना ये कोई जनतांत्रिक व्यवस्था का ये नियम नहीं है। अगर आपको इसके बारे में देखिए, अपोजिशन को बिना साथ लिए गए कोई कानून बन नहीं सकता।
फर्जी आंकड़े प्रधानमंत्री और सरकार देते हैं और कृषि से जो कृषि की हानि हुई है ये अतिवृष्टि ओलावृष्टि से, उस पर जिस तरह उन्होंने सरकार के झूठ को भी सामने रखा है उससे साफ हो गया कि यह सरकार किसानों की दुश्मन है और लूट कर किसानों को पूंजीपतियों की जेब भरना चाहती है।
I think all parties are concerned about farmers, but instead of pointing out only the problems, very few are talking about solutions. The reality today is that more than 60% of our population is dependent on farms, and that is not sustainable. We have to find other means of farmers and their sons and daughters to make a living.
Now, the damage to the farmers' crops due to unseasonal rains and hailstorms has been categorized as a regional disaster. With this, states can use 10% of their State Disaster Response Fund or SDRF to compensate farmers. Replying to a query put up during question hour in Lok Sabha on Tuesday, Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh said the government was mandated to help states with funds from the NDRF as well. The minister also talked about a new crop insurance for farmers. The government has also promised compensation to farmers who lost more than 33% of their crop.
गृह मंत्रालय ने एनडीआरएफ ने एक सर्कुलर जारी करके राज्यों को कहा है कि जो स्थानीय आपदाएं हैं, जो एसडीआरएफ की कुल राशि में से 10% राशि आप स्थानीय आपदाओं को भी एनडीआरएफ राष्ट्रीय आपदा मानकर उनको सहायता दे सकते हैं। कि पहले से कृषि बीमा योजना चल रही है, मौसम आधारित बीमा योजना चल रही है, जो राज्य चयन करती है कि किन फसलों का बीमा करना है, किस एरिया पर लेवलिंग करना है। लेकिन भारत सरकार की ओर से एक नई कृषि आमदनी बीमा योजना इस वित्तीय वर्ष में प्रारंभ की जाएगी।
The news of major victory for the Indian Coast Guard. A Navy Coast Guard joint operation intercepted a suspicious boat off the Gujarat coast and seized a huge quantity of narcotics said to be worth 600 crore rupees from it, besides other incriminating material. 8 Pakistani nationals manning the vessel are being interrogated.
The search operation based on intelligence inputs for a narcotics-laden vessel from Pakistan had been on since Saturday. Multiple units of the Navy and Coast Guard, ships as well as aircraft were deployed, leading to the interception of Porbandar early on Monday. The Defence Ministry said 8 Pakistani nationals manning the boat have been arrested. Also seized several bags of narcotics suspected to be heroin worth about 600 crore rupees and satellite phones.
In wee hours of 20th, our ship Sangram apprehended this boat. And in addition to the drugs, the 232 kg of heroin, it had 3 satellite telephones, which is Thuraya sets, and 2 GPS global positioning system. That also has been recovered. So all the crew are on board our ship Sangram. They are being brought to Porbandar.
Security analysts in India praised the operation while admitting that the intercept sets off fresh alarm bells in the Indian security establishment vis-a-vis Pakistan. 3 months ago on New Year's Eve, a Pakistani boat laden with explosives caught fire and exploded, killing the 4 crew members on board after it was intercepted, also off Porbandar in Gujarat. The latest catch says the maximum vigil needs to stay. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, time for a quick break right now, but on the other side, we'll be talking about former Odisha Chief Minister J.B. Patnaik, who's passed away at the age of 89. More on that on the other side.
The Chinese president in Pakistan. a historic visit, highly emotive content, billion-dollar deals. Should India be worried? Watch The Big Picture at 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
कला की अद्भुत मिसाल यहाँ के एक बेहद प्राचीन कला है जिसे पच्चीकारी कहते हैं। हुनर है बेमिसाल, हजारों हजार कारीगर यहाँ इस काम में लगे हुए हैं, लेकिन कारीगर है बदहाल।
हमारी विरासत खत्म होती जा रही है। आज की तारीख में 10% रह रहे हैं इस काम करने में, 90% लोगों ने इस काम को छोड़ दिया है।
देखिए अस्मिता भी आगरा से खास पेशकश, बेमिसाल कला पच्चीकारी, सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर।
पाकिस्तान में चीन के राष्ट्रपति, पाकिस्तान को बताया भरोसेमंद दोस्त। दोनों देशों में 51 समझौते। देखिए पहली खबर, जिनपिंग का पाकिस्तान दौरा आज शाम 7 बजे।
आजादी के बाद कैसे बदला परिवेश, कैसे बनी संसद, कैसे उठा देश।
When the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
कौन थे वो लोग जो दे गए हमको शानदार विरासत, लोकतंत्र की मजबूत इमारत। राज्यसभा टेलीविजन।
Welcome back here with the news at 6. Now, the Supreme Court has said that it will first decide the composition of the Constitution Bench before hearing a plea challenging the validity of the National Judicial Appointments Commission. The issue of conflict of interest and doctrine of bias once again cropped up again today, questioning the bench set up to hear the plea. The issue forced the top court to decide on the 5-judge bench before going into the merits of the impunged law. Earlier, Justice A.R. Dave had pulled himself out of the 5-member bench because his name was on the list of NJAC members. The NJAC has to replace the collegium system of appointing judges to higher judiciary. But some parties raised objections saying those who are part of the collegium or members of the NJAC should recuse themselves from hearing the plea. The former Odisha Chief Minister and Assam Governor J.B. Patnaik passed away Tuesday night in Tirupati. He was 89. The veteran Congress leader was in Tirupati to participate in the convocation of the Tirupati Sanskrit University. He passed away hours after complaining of chest pain late on Monday night. His body is being brought to Odisha. The cremation will be carried out in Puri. Patnaik was Odisha's chief minister thrice for 2 terms during 1980 to 89 and then from 1995 to 1999. He also served as the governor of Assam from 2009 to 2014. Patnaik was also a noted writer and had written several books. Many leaders, including the Prime Minister, paid their condolences on his demise. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik announced the state would observe 7 days of mourning as a mark of respect. Putting an end to rebellion raging within its ranks, the Aam Aadmi Party has expelled 4 of its rebel leaders on Monday night. The decision was taken at the party's National Disciplinary Committee meeting. The dissidents, who also happen to be the founding members of the party, were sacked for gross misconduct and anti-party activities.
आम आदमी पार्टी पर जो लोग काबिज हैं, वो अब आप नहीं एक खाप पंचायत बन चुकी है और उस खाप पंचायत में एक तानाशाह है और उस तानाशाह के आदेशों के हिसाब से बाकी जो खाप पंचायत के मेंबर हैं वो उनके आदेशों का पालन करते हैं और उनकी जी हुजूरी करते हैं।
जब ऐसी कोई खबर आती है तो स्वाभाविक है पहले थोड़ा गुस्सा आता है कि आधी रात को खबर आ रही है, ये कोई वक्त है और ये कौन लोग हैं, क्या कमेटी ऐसी होनी चाहिए थी। जब कोई आपको आपके घर से निकाल दे घसीट के तो पहला यही होता है, ये कौन लोग हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, ये कोई टाइम है, ये कोई तरीका है। फिर उसके बाद दुख होता है।
Time for a very quick break right now, but coming up on the other side, all the stories from across the country. flood alert has been sounded off in Srinagar after heavy rains on Monday caused the Jhelum River to cross the danger level. Water levels have reached the danger mark in 2 places in south and central Kashmir. People living in low-lying areas have been alerted. However, traffic on the Srinagar-Baramulla highway has not been disrupted so far. The verdict on the Salman Khan hit-and-run case will be pronounced on the 6th of May. If convicted, Salman Khan could face up to 10 years in jail. The actor is accused of ramming his SUV in a roadside bakery in suburban Bandra in September 2002, killing 1 person and injuring 4. The prosecution has also alleged that he was drunk and was driving without a license, a charge that has been denied by Khan. 6 empty coaches of 2 Rajdhani trains were gutted in a fire this afternoon at the New Delhi railway station's maintenance yard. The coaches of the Bhubaneswar and Sialdah Rajdhani were parked in the washing line for maintenance and cleaning when the fire started. However, no one was injured in the incident. A suspected diesel leak is believed to have ignited the fire. The authorities have ordered a high-level inquiry into the incident. 9 people were killed and 10 others injured when a roadways bus caught fire near Amethi in Uttar Pradesh. The incident occurred when the bus caught fire due to a short circuit in the engine. 42 passengers were on board the bus when the incident happened. The Manipur government has culled over 1,000 birds in Imphal after the outbreak of bird flu was confirmed. Officials said a red alert has been sounded and that the culling operation will continue for some more days. Over 1,500 eggs and 70 bags of feed have been destroyed and buried in pits so far. The National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases in Bhopal had earlier confirmed the virus. Well, we'll take that break now, and on the other side we'll talk about all the international news. Airstrikes that have been happening in Yemen have killed even 38 more people. More on that on the other side.
This ban order, probably you are trying to reinforce the RSS agenda.
What I am trying to reinforce is the agenda mandated by the Constitution. It's not beef ban. It's a ban on slaughter of cow progeny.
BJP was seen as a party which was anti-Muslims.
Congress has totally lost the faith of Muslims. Now we are trying to create a sense of faith amongst minorities.
Mumbai needs about $9 billion, to bridge the gap of the infrastructure deficit. Where are you really going to get the money from?
Yes, there is a infrastructure deficit in Maharashtra, and we did not invest the way we should have been. But that is because of governance.
Watch To The Point with Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis only on Rajya Sabha television.
योगेंद्र और प्रशांत की आपसे छुट्टी, आनंद कुमार और अजीत झा भी बर्खास्त, आम आदमी पार्टी में बढ़ी टूट की आशंका। देखिए देश देशांतर, क्या होगा आपका, आज रात 8:30 बजे।
Showcase your concern and commitment towards environment through films, inviting entries from filmmakers for the 8th CMS Vatavaran International Film Festival. Last date for entries is April 22nd, 2015. Brought to you by broadcast partner Rajya Sabha TV. Visit our website www.cmsvatavaran.org for more details.
खबरों का संसार।
भारतीय समाज के ऊपर टेलीविजन का असर बढ़ गया काफी। मीडिया पावरफुल है।
गायब है सरोकार।
10-12 चैनल बड़े-बड़े घरानों ने खरीदे हैं। प्रिंट मीडिया की एक सीमाएं हैं।
बाजार की मार।
टेलीविजन सेलिब्रिटी का निर्माण।
मीडिया कितना जिम्मेदार?
सब चीज बॉटम लाइन पे आ गई है कि उस पे इतना खर्चा होगा, उससे कुछ मिलता है कि नहीं मिलता।
देखिए मीडिया मंथन शनिवार दोपहर 12 बजे, शाम 7:30 बजे और रविवार शाम 4 बजे।
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj began a 5-day visit to Indonesia today. She will attend the 60th commemoration of the historical 1955 Asian African Conference. The conference galvanized global stalwarts like Egypt's Gamal Abdel Nasser and Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, whose famous Panchsheel doctrine was incorporated in 10 principles of international peace and cooperation and declaration. Besides this event, Sushma Swaraj will also attend the 10th anniversary celebrations of the new Asian-African Strategic Partnership. Citing the budget session of Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had expressed his inability to attend a commemoration which is expected to see the participation of heads of states from major Asian and African powers like China, Japan, South Africa, among others. The Chinese President Xi Jinping on Tuesday applauded Pakistan's anti-terrorism efforts in a speech to Parliament, vowing his nation would continue to stand by its neighbour. He also called for closer economic cooperation between the traditional allies a day after they launched energy and infrastructure projects in Pakistan with $46 billion. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Pakistan considered Chinese security as important as its own. Pakistan's lawmakers gave Xi a standing ovation after his address. Legislators, military leaders and foreign ambassadors all attended the speech. Xi had arrived in Pakistan on Monday on a two-day visit. This is the first visit by a Chinese head of state to Pakistan in a decade. Xi will be awarded Pakistan's highest civilian award, the Nishan-e-Pakistan.
China will assist Pakistan in strengthening its capacity for fighting terrorism and ensuring security, and we will work with Pakistan to tackle rising non-traditional security threats so as to provide a reliable security guarantee for bilateral economic cooperation and common development.
Let me assure you, Mr. President, Pakistan considers China's security as its own security. We would fight together to eliminate the menace of terrorism. Our joint efforts in this regard have succeeded, but we need to intensify these efforts to accomplish our objective.
Now, the European Union today announced a plan to prevent further migrant deaths with the backing of all EU foreign and interior ministers. The plan includes both civilian and military action to counter the problem of piracy and deal more humanely with immigration issues.
The recent migrant tragedy in Libyan waters that claimed around 900 lives has forced the European Union to sit up and take notice. In an emergency meeting, the bloc agreed upon a 10-point plan to prevent more tragedies in the Mediterranean. The highlights of the plan is the bloc's counter-piracy program.
I've seen a broad consensus on the need to fight united against traffickers and smugglers of human beings. We've identified some actions. Some of them can be implemented in a reasonably short period of time.
The Commission also announced it would double the size of funding of Triton, the EU naval operation. European Union has been struggling to come up with a policy to contain the exodus of migrants from Africa, but the bloc agreed on the need to share responsibilities, including the resettlement and relocation of refugees. An emergency summit on the migrant crisis has also been scheduled for Thursday.
Some of the topics that we will need to address as a matter of urgency are how to stop the human traffickers that cynically earn money by putting the migrants' lives at risk, how to step up our combined efforts of rescuing people in need, how to better help the EU member states most affected, and how to step up our cooperation with the countries of origin and transit.
If we do not act now, the crisis will take dangerous proportions in the months to come. Europe needs to respond united to this challenge that is related to the core values of the Union.
Meanwhile, Italy on Monday arrested 2 people in relation to the boat capsizing. The Tunisian captain of the boat has been charged with reckless multiple homicide. He and another crew member have also been charged with favoring illegal immigration. The number of migrants is only expected to surge in summers. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, time now for all the other international news and global buzz. At least 38 people have been killed in a Saudi-led airstrikes on a missile depot in the Yemeni capital. The twin strikes sparked powerful explosions that flattened nearby houses. The The base belongs to the Missile Brigade of the elite Republican Guard, which remains loyal to former President Ali Abdullah Saleh. He's been accused of siding with Houthi rebels in their fight against the government. In the fourth week of Saudi-led campaign against the rebels, warplanes have hit several positions belonging to the rebels and pro-Saleh troops across the capital. An Egyptian court today sentenced former President Mohamed Morsi and 12 others to 20 years in prison without parole. The court's ruling was televised live on state television. Muslim Brotherhood leaders like Mohammed El-Beltaghi and Assam El-Arian were among those who were sentenced along with Morsi. The ruling is the first against Morsi, who said he is determined to reverse what he calls a military coup in 2013 staged by the then army chief Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Ethiopia has declared 3 days of mourning after 30 Ethiopian Christians were beheaded by ISIS militants in Libya. The Ethiopian government said the victims were migrants trying to reach Europe. The days of mourning began today when lawmakers met to discuss the country's possible response. A cyclonic storm battered Australia's east coast, killing at least 3 people. Winds of up to 135 kilometers per hour uprooted trees, snapped power poles and overturned cars. The storm destroyed several houses and cut power to more than 2 lakh homes. Huge waves reaching 11.2 meters offshore pounded beaches. Rail links to the north and south of Sydney were cut and many roads were flooded. Well, time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. P. Kashyap has made a resounding start to his campaign at the Badminton Asia Championship. He defeated Singapore's Derek Wong in straight games to reach the second round. Kashyap outplayed Wong 21-17, 21-13 in a 39-minute contest at the Wuhan Sports Center Gymnasium. The 28-year-old from Hyderabad will next take on Ya Qingsu of Chinese Taipei tomorrow. Porto will take on 5-time champions Bayern Munich tonight in the Champions League quarter-final. Porto has a 3-1 first-leg advantage over Bayern. The German team will not have Javi Martinez and Mehdi Benestia in the lineup. Winger Frank Ribery also looks set to miss the game with a nagging ankle injury. Porto will be without suspended Danilo and Alexandro, but Jackson Martinez, who made his comeback from injury against Bayern and scored their third goal, and Ricardo Caserma, who scored the other 2, are looking in fine form. A team of Saint Etienne's All-Stars defeated a Zinedine Zidane Ronaldo Friends 11 by 9-7 in a friendly match on Monday. Former stars like Zidane, Ronaldo, Clarence Seedorf and Fabian Barthez featured in the match. The charity game was billed as a match against poverty and supported by the United Nations Programme for Development, with funds raised from going to combat the Ebola virus and help other charities. The match was light-hearted with determined tackles and offside rules taking the day off as retired players took to the pitch, all mixed up in the Saint Etienne Stars. Well, that's a wrap on this bulletin, but before we go, we'll leave you with this. Maglev, or the magnetically levitating train, made a new world record, reaching a top speed of 603 kilometers per hour on an experimental track. The train will run between Tokyo and Nagoya and is set to open in 2027.